The yearly Doctor Who Christmas episode has become a tradition in record time, and one of my favorites. The best of these is magnificent television, to be watched every year. Even the worst is enjoyable. To figure which are the best, it's time for a ranking. Of note, I don't count William Hartnell's breaking the fourth wall in 1965 to wish Happy Christmas to all of you at home in the Daleks' master plan. That's not a Christmas serial. So, starting with the least, number 16, The End of Time, Part 1, 2009. I usually rank this considerably higher because I group the two parts together, but as this is a Christmas list and Part 2 came out on New Year's, I've got to separate them. And Part 1 suffers for that, as everything good, particularly Ten's Farewell, is in the second half. Part 1 is just silly. So much is painful. Hulk jumping Electro's super undead master, turning everyone into the master, a plot point that goes nowhere, it being shot clearly in summer, not Christmas time, and really nothing happens with a generic corporate villain that could have been eliminated. It's like they had just a little too much material for a single special and had 2 time slots to fill, so they just piled some junk into the first one. 10 is good, as he normally was, and you've got to love Wilfred, but that's all we've got. Number 15, Joy to the World, 2024. You can see that Disney money, and the first half is really good. We get a wonderful sequence of the Doctor stuck for a year in a hotel, befriending Anita, the concierge. It's the best character development 15 ever had, and I love the idea that unknown locked doors are time portals. But Joy is both poorly drawn and deeply annoying, which is a problem because this is her story, plot-wise, not the Doctor's, and we get one of the worst and nonsensical endings in New Who. It's significant I cared more about Anita's ending than Joy's. Side note, remember when the Doctor used to be opposed to non-Time Lords getting time travel? Number 14, Last Christmas, 2014. A non-ironic mashup of Inception, Aliens, and The Thing. And since we know from the beginning that it's all a dream, nothing matters. Stuff happens, none of which makes sense, but they hand-wave that away because dream. But this special never had a chance. The problem is scripts need to be written early, and Jenna Coleman had quit, so no Clara. But then she was coming back just for the special, so last-minute partial rewrite, with her exiting in the episode. Except new contract, and now she's sticking around, so put a patch on that script. You can see the tape holding it together. There was simply no time to write a decent story. The tone's a mess as well. Number 13, The Church on Ruby Road, 2023. Time hasn't been kind to this episode. Asking interesting questions, who is Ruby's mother? Why did she abandon Ruby? Who is Mrs. Flood? Doesn't work as well when you eventually supply uninteresting answers. Once again, that Disney money makes it all pretty. The cinematography is solid, and the effects are miles above what we've had in the past. Our new Doctor is joyful, charismatic, and easily carries the show. That wouldn't last. Ruby works well in her role. She doesn't stand out as much as Rose or Amy or Clara did in their first episodes, but there was potential, unfulfilled as it turns out. The story is more fantasy than we'd seen in New Who, and that works well enough. This is fun, though aims more at children than at families. Points for the song, minus points for the orphan must find birth parent trope. Number 12, The Return of Dr. Mysterio, 2016. After a 12-month drought of Doctor Who, this was a bit of a disappointment. It isn't a bad episode, it's really quite fun. It just isn't significant. Since superheroes were all the rage, they added a costumed superhero to the Who universe, and just stuck close to the trope. So there's little new or thoughtful. There's a touch of emotion, but mainly this is a pleasant time filler, and 12 is in good form. However, for a Christmas special, it's not all that Christmassy. Number 11, The Time of the Doctor, 2013. I have so many questions. Was there any reason any number of the ships, like the Papal one, didn't just blow up the planet instantly? And here we learn the Doctor is on his last regeneration? Really? Was there any reason not to have mentioned that a season ago and then done something with it? There's enough material here for 2 or 3 specials, so it's all a bit choppy. It suddenly, and anticlimactically, wraps up multi-season arcs. But I do love the church, and Tasha Lem, and Clara does okay for this version of Clara. It doesn't fit together as satisfyingly as it should have, but the episode is about moments, and a lot of those are good. It's a mixed experience. Number 10, The Snowmen, 2012. An episode that would have been greatly improved by eliminating the Doctor. He's unnecessary to the story. Clara, Vastra, Jenny, Strax are all that's needed, and all are wonderful. Claire would never be this much fun again, while the other three proved that they deserved a spin-off. Unfortunately, the villain turns out to be less than advertised, meaning the big confrontation is just okay. I watch this for the sidekicks. Think about how good the next season and a half would have been with this version of Clara. The Victorian setting helps to make it feel like Christmas. Number 9. The Runaway Bride, 2006. Donna is always a bit shrill, but here she's truly grating. Her mother is... wow. Doctor Who hates mothers. Donna got better in season 4. It took longer for her mother. This story is fine, and the giant spider empress is fun, but slipping toward goofy. However, it's fast-paced, which helps, and funny, which helps more. But it's 10 that makes it all work. He switches from funny to tragic to an action hero 3 times in the same scene, and it's always good. The third season's The Family of Blood is probably best at showing how scary the Doctor can be, but The Runaway Bride does it well. Number 8. The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. This one doesn't get the love it deserves. I think because it isn't what people expected. The name notwithstanding, it's not a Narnia pastiche, and more, it isn't the Doctor's story, which is the case in a surprising number of Christmas specials. It's just more obvious here. This is the story of a mother rescuing her wandering children from fairyland. It's also a story of grief. It manages both of these stories well, treading carefully at times and diving in at others. There's a real feeling of loss and need. The Doctor may be an extra in his own show, but he acts as comic relief, and this is one of the times when Smith's gags work. And each of the several endings is heartwarming. Doctor Who rarely reaches this level of emotional intensity. Number 7. Twice Upon a Time, 2017. It leans more on nostalgia than I'd like, but New Who has rarely done it so well, and if that was the plan, going back to the first Doctor was nice. There really isn't a plot, although for a while the two Doctors think there is one. This is about 2 dying Doctors thinking about their past and if they want to go forward. The play between the 2 of them is good, and the nods toward your racist uncle are funny and relevant. It's very sentimental, but then Christmas episodes usually are, and this one isn't cloying. It's a satisfying farewell to 12. Number 6. The Next Doctor, 2008. A real shame that David Morrissey wasn't the Next Doctor. He would have been excellent. He's very good in his very brief run. If there is a failing, it's that it didn't keep the ruse going longer, as I'd love the bits with the 2 Doctors working together, though the drama that followed is solid. The Cybermen work really well here as a bit of Christmas horror, and Miss Hartigan is a sympathetic villain. She's very high in my ranking of one-off antagonists. And this is a beautifully filmed episode. Some real artistry behind the camera. The use of color is stunning. People do seem to get a bit grumpy about the Daikaiju Cyberman. I like it well enough. I hear some people got upset because they thought Morrissey really was the Next Doctor and felt lied to. Really? I was there, and no, not for a minute did I believe that. Number 5. Voyage of the Damned, 2007. It's the Poseidon adventure in space. How much you like it will depend on how much you liked that film. I liked it a lot. I never understood the Astrid hate. She makes a good, if very traditional companion. There's some Christmas here, but more than festive, Voyage of the Damned feels epic. Even with the Disney Plus money that would come years later, I don't think Doctor Who has ever felt grander. This is a feature film, widescreen, booming speakers kind of an episode. Yes, it's funny and tragic, but this is Doctor Who as action extravaganza. And we're in world-class episodes now with number 4, The Christmas Invasion, 2005. The Doctor sleeps through 2/3 of the episode, leaving us with a struggling Rose, Mickey, and Jackie. What a great way to introduce a new Doctor while giving some depth to the companion and the side characters, and really upping the tension. It also gives us the welcome return of Harriet Jones. Once 10 wakes, a point that makes me want to audibly cheer, it sails, with David Tennant showing off some impressive acting chops, and the ability to clearly speak twice as fast as any normal human. An extra point for Santas with weapons and a buzzsaw tree. Number 3. A Christmas Carol, 2010. It violates one of the fundamental rules of time travel set up early in the show's history, and it is a version of A Christmas Carol, which is the most overused Christmas story in existence. But somehow it works really, really well. Part of that is the music. Composer Murray Gold brought heart and power to many seasons of Doctor Who, but he outdid himself here. Casting mezzo-soprano Katherine Jenkins was genius. Like all the best versions of A Christmas Carol, there's some very funny material here, and some bits that are heavy and tragic. It's got everything. Number 2. The Unquiet Dead, 2006. Here's the odd man out, a Christmas episode that wasn't a special, which is nice as it means we have an Eccleston Christmas. This is my favorite of the historical celebrity episodes, with Charles Dickens joining the Doctor and Rose in their investigation. Everything's done right. It's a spooky ghost story with well-developed secondary characters, plenty of emotion, lots of humor, and a bit of meaning. It's pretty much the perfect standard Doctor Who episode, but with Christmas. And number 1. The Husbands of River Song, 2015. Oh, did this one wreck me when it came out? Peter Capaldi shines as a humorous doctor, an intense doctor, and a romantic doctor. And the script has it all. I don't know if the show has ever been this funny, but there's so much more. This is the perfect wrap-up for River Song. The plot works, but it doesn't matter if it did or not. This isn't about plot, but about two characters, the Doctor and River Song, interacting. And that's where The Husbands of River Song becomes not just the best Christmas episode, but one of the best episodes of the show in its 60-year history. And that'll do it. I use my Foster on Film channel mainly for classic movies, and I'm doing this for fun, so I'm throwing my Doctor Who Christmas rankings over on my Matthew Foster channel, which before I'd used primarily for D&D videos. That's gonna go strange together. Oh well. But hey, if you like commentary on classic films, try my Foster on Film channel. I've got a bunch of Christmas stuff over there.